Let's get some NFL predictions. Today it is finally time to do my NFL predictions. Of course, we're gonna start in the AFC East, and I will do this week. Of course, tomorrow will be the AFC North, so I will give that prediction to you guys. These could change, maybe maybe in this week. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I want your thoughts. Who do you think will win the AFC East? It's a tight division, but I want to be honest, but it's going to have to be what it's got to be. So let's start at fourth place. I have the Patriots. Sorry, Patriots fans, but you're going to win 3 games, and y'all will probably get the number one overall pick. Patriots 3-14 record. Uh, with a new coach in Gerard Mayo, they have to find out who their starter is, Drake May or Jacoby Brissett. I believe it's Jacoby Brissett. He's going to be the starter for week 1 against the Bengals on the road. Their defense is going to help them, but question is going to be on the offense, of course. They did release Juju Smith-Schuster, which he didn't do much in New England last season. Kendrick Bourne is their number 1 wide receiver. KJ Osborne is their number 2. And then you get Jalen Polk from the draft at number 3. Makes a lot of sense. You need that young number 3 to hopefully become a number 2 or number 1 wide receiver in the future. Hunter Henry comes back. I think that's a good decision on the Patriots offense. Ramondre Stevenson starting running back makes a lot of sense. Um, Offensive line is going to be, they're going to have the same guys back except left tackle. Of course, Trent Brown gone. They got a former Steelers left tackle. And it was Chiksa Ogawa. Try to pronounce his name. Defense is going to be good. They're going to be really good. They're going to be that team to watch this year. Then next year, if they get another defensive player, maybe with the first pick, go after that defensive player like Travis Hunter, they're going to be the team to win 6 games next year if their defense is good. So I'll give you our worst scenarios and best scenarios for every teams. Best scenario for them, worst scenario, and this is the 3-14 record. If the quarterback play does not go well, defense has a lot of injuries. Of course, Matt Judon, Christian Gonzalez coming back, both of them coming back from injuries. But here's the worst scenario: if you get, let's say, Jacoby Brissett wins 3 games, and Drake May does play, but he doesn't produce a lot, and defense doesn't play like defense was. I say it's a 2-15. Here's the best scenario for them: if Brissett can play like he was the years when he learned from Tom Brady, of course, Deshaun Watson, and then those guys over there in Washington. If he can play like a veteran quarterback and defense plays defensive football, Christian Gonzalez can win Defensive Player of the Year. Matt Judon can lead the Patriots team in sacks. I will say a 6-win team, and it will be a process for them to start. But for me, the Patriots will end the season 3-14. All right, to third place. This is where I think people are going to call out and say, this team is not going to go third place. They've been division winners the past 3 years since this team got to an AFC Championship game. And it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. It's hard to think the Bills in a record of 9-8. I'm sorry, it's hard because you got good teams. You got the Dolphins, who I think the Dolphins are going to finally have to beat these good teams. The Jets are well improved. The Bills, on the other hand, I think they could be the surprise team if they get to the playoffs. You got to see more of Ken Coleman at wide receiver. Who's going to be their RB2, RB1? Josh Allen is back. I think the offense is going to be good. I think What I'm worried about is the defense. Of course, you lose your leaders in Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, who has some injuries, of course. But this is going to be a different defense for Sean McDermott. I think if you look at um, the past years for Buffalo, they've been one of those teams that, oh, they should be beating Kansas City. Not so fast. After those years, here comes them falling apart. And Houston has been talking about the Ravens, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Jets. The Bills have been out of the talk of Super Bowl. So is their Super Bowl window closed? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is one of those hard predictions for me for those three teams. But Josh Allen is going to probably win MVP. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. But in this schedule, it's going to be brutal. I think it's really going to be brutal. Kansas City, then after the bye week, San Francisco at home, on the road to LA, and then at home against or on the road to Detroit. That's going to be one of those games they have to show they are a legitimate playoff team. Worst scenario, and I would say flip that 8-9 to 8-9 to 8-9. If the wide receiver position, Ken Coleman and Curtis Samuel are not the right pieces on Josh Allen's offense, and defense is not going well, 8-9. Best scenario, and this could be the likely scenario. And this happened with Kansas City when they lost Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman and Byron Pringle. If the Bills offense still can be the offense that Joe Brady calls these plays, run RPOs, running the football, and Ken Coleman and Curtis Samuel might be the best wide receiver duos. And defense without their star players, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, this could be an 11-win team. Not going to go 12 wins because of their schedule. So I think this Bills team could go 11 wins as their best scenario. But for this prediction, 9-8, I just don't know. I think they'll miss the playoffs this year for the first time. Now it comes to second place, and this is where it gets really interesting. Give me the Miami Dolphins in second place, and the Jets will win the division. We'll get to the Jets in a minute. Why Miami in second? They'll finish the season 10-7. I think it's all eyes on Miami. Of course, early season they go from 70 burger against the Broncos to then late December, and they go not going well in there. I think it's going to be the same thing, but this time I think their opponents are going to be really tough. Cleveland's going to be one of them. Houston, the Jets, Buffalo. You can see the Patriots maybe shocking them. But the Dolphins are going to be one of those clicking offenses. Okay, defense is what we're going to be keeping an eye on. Let's start on offense. Offensively, Tua's going to be throwing to Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, OBJ. And then you add a tight end in Jonnu Smith. That's a real good pickup for that Dolphins offense since losing Mike Gesicki. Our running backs, Raheem Morris is back. Raheem Mostert is back. Davon Achane should have a better second year. And I believe they added a rookie running back from Tennessee, which it is going to be a speed offense, so we're going to see that. They did lose offensive line problem in Robert Hunt, who's gone. Connor Williams is gone. They did replace They replaced Connor Williams with Aaron Brewer, the former Titan center. Right guard is going to be the position to keep an eye on. I believe Isaiah Wynn is going to take that position at left guard. So many questions on offense, but offense is good. Questions on defense. Anthony Weaver's the new DC. All eyes on that defense. The pickup for Jordan Poyer, I think it's a good pickup for the Dolphins. I love the acquisition of uh, the signing of Kendon Fuller, but of course he had a down year last year, so we got to keep an eye on that Dolphins defense. Jalen Ramsey is going to be back as healthy. They did draft Chop Robinson in the first round. I love that pickup. He's going to go. He's going to be a great acquisition alongside Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. They did sign Calais Campbell, but I think there's one reason why they could be a 10-win team. Again, they're gonna have a tough year on December games and these playoff games. And losing Christian Wilkins is going to hurt them. So I think 10 wins for them. The worst scenario, and this could be like Buffalo, injuries. If injuries cost offense, not the offense we see last season, and the defense is not going where it's going to that direction, this is going to be a 9-8 team, and they're going to probably be a 6 or 7 seeded playoff team. Now let's go to the OMG here moment. If Tua and Tyreek Hill become the best wide receiver quarterback duo, offense is still elite. They can beat Cleveland, they can beat San Francisco, and defense wins championship games. And we'll say like Calais Campbell, let's say Kendall Fuller, Jalen Ramsey, and that defense, Chop Robinson can win Defensive Rookie of the Year with 8.5 sacks. 12 wins. But I think this team's going to go 10 wins. I just think this Dolphins, it's going to be a lot of questions on the Dolphins defensive side. Which now brings me to the Jets. 11-6 is my prediction. I think it's close between them, the Dolphins, and the Bills. I love this team. I think this team is going to win the division, and they're going to be back as a playoff team for the first time since, I believe, the year when Martinez took the Jets to the AFC Championship game. Sorry, my nose is itching. But continue on. I think you look at the Jets, they have improved. So let's take a look at their offense. Aaron Rodgers is back. Breece Hall is going to be your starting running back. Garrett Wilson at RB1. They added Mike Williams from the Chargers. Of course, Alan Lazard is still going to be there. They did draft a wide receiver for Western Kentucky, so an interesting note right there. Tyler Conklin back as tight end. The offensive line was the biggest winners for the Jets this offseason. They add Tyron Smith at left tackle, but also drafting Olu Fashanu because that would make sense. The other thing that makes sense, Johnny Simpson from the Ravens is going to be in place left guard. Cam Jerkins, I think Cam Jerkins, or they have a center. Elijah Vera Tucker has to be healthy. And then they bring back Morgan Moses to play at right tackle. Jets offense is going to be the big question. Can Aaron Rodgers stay healthy? Yes, they can. They got to see if we just got to see a full season of Aaron Rodgers. Jets defense is going to be the same defense. They're going to be that good defense. If this year the Jets play for the playoffs and their defense leads the Jets to the AFC Championship game, and let's say play in Houston or Kansas City, this team has a legitimate shot at going to the Super Bowl and get Aaron Rodgers, I believe his first Super Bowl since the year he won with the Packers in 2010 when they beat the Steelers, and then finally break that Super Bowl curse that the Jets have been waiting for since Joe Namath led the Jets to Super Bowl III in winning it. So let's go to worst scenario. Worst scenario, Aaron Rodgers does go down, let's say 3 or 4 games missed, and offense doesn't click, and then defense is not pursuing. I think this is a 9-8 team. They missed the playoffs, and I would say Robert Saleh is on the hot seat at leaving as the Jets head coach. This is the best scenario. if Aaron Rodgers becomes MVP Aaron Rodgers that we see in 2020, and defense is top 3 defense, 12-5, and this team is going to be the team to watch, hopefully in the AFC Championship game. But my prediction is going to be 11-6. All right, that is it for today. But tomorrow is AFC North, so stay tuned for that. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.